Good morning, my name is Ryan Burke. Today we're going to be talking about the high performance aircraft project that we are working on for Vermont Flight Academy. So agenda for today, we're going to be talking about the problem, what's the solution, what it will cost, and then we'll finish up with some questions. So the first problem we're facing is renters. So we need to attract students from across the country because students equal money. So the more students we have in the program, the more profitable the Flight Academy will be. So in order to attract those students, we need to have something to draw them in, and that's going to be this aircraft. And on aopa.org, a very well-known organization for pilots, they recommend when looking for a flight school, you look at how many and what types of aircraft are used for their instruction program. So right now we have a lot of Cessna aircraft for flight instruction, which is great, but we have an Aero and an Aztec and a CB. And we have a tailwheel, but not much else, and we need to have this high-performance aircraft for that diversity. That's the problem we have, is a lack of diversity, which could cause the loss of potential renters. Problem number 2 is training quality. So VFA is known for quality training. It's synonymous with it as the Vermont's premier flight school. But Cessna are not good enough. We have a very diverse fleet of Cessna in the flight systems that are in them, but we don't have a lot of diversity in the actual fleet. So we're targeting the commercial students who are now qualified private pilots with instrument ratings that are looking to expand their knowledge and look to expand their skill, and this aircraft is going to be for them, and it's going to be that draw for the commercial program. Now it seems kind of obvious, but quality training is a very important item to getting hired. So when we look at solutions, we could be looking at advertising that with our quality training and getting hired. Problem number 3, competitive. We need to stay competitive with these flight schools. Right now we're on top, but we need to make sure we stay on top and maybe even get further on top. So we have a couple flight schools in the area, Green Mountain Flight Training and Shelburne. I know a couple guys who went through those programs, and they moved to VFA, and they are very happy with the upgrade, but not everyone can afford the more expensive rates of VFA. So what we need to do is increase the quality of our training. So we need to remain superior. We need to draw in students from across the Northeast to Burlington, not the other flight schools. And when we do that, we're going to be able to stay on top and stay very competitive with these flight schools, stay on top. So to look at solutions, we buy Piper Lance. What do we do after that? Number 1, advertising. We have a new plane. We need to advertise. We have this new plane. Talk about how fast it goes. We have this kind of training, and it's going to attract more students. And more importantly, with the advertising we can do is going to attract people who are looking to make this a career. Serious renters who are going to spend a lot of money on flight training to get qualified to go to the airlines. That's the people we're going to try to bring in with this plane, because after training, people aren't going to be flying Cessnas for hire, most likely. What they're going to be flying is a aircraft similar to the high performance aircraft with more horsepower, faster, harder to control, and a lot smaller envelope. So, but we advertise, we're going to bring in students, we're going to expand our numbers, increase the profits of the flight school. Number 2, high performance syllabus. That's a great solution, because when we have this training that we're going to advertise as quality, we need to back it up with the quality training. So we're going to have a flight instructor who's going to ensure that our aircraft is going to be put to good use with along the commercial training standards. When we do that, what we're going to do, and we'll talk about that later, is train our instructors, and we're going to get them qualified on this aircraft to teach our students. With the instructors, with more training, the proficiency of the instructors are going to go up. Their knowledge base is higher. They're going to pass that along to not only commercial students, but their private and their instrument students. But the commercial students who are going to receive this training are going to be very pleased with the quality of training that they're receiving. Going to be a strong selling point if they were to recommend Vermont Flight Academy. Solution number 3, those competitors, we got to keep them well out of reach. So we got to make sure that they will never match VFA in our quality and our training. So our reputation. We're going to keep it Vermont's premier flight school. We need to stay on top. We need to expand beyond the reaches of Burlington. We need to bring people in to Burlington. And we're going to bring them across the Northeast, and we're going to stay on top. Now the budget. So we're looking at cost of aircraft, roughly around $130,000, which is pretty reasonable for an aircraft looking around the 1970 to 1980 range of years old. Got a couple thousand hours on them. They're a proven airframe. But what we're going to do with $130,000, we're going to finance that. We have someone in place with the banks to set up a financing payment of about $12,000 a year, which is about $1,000 a month, which is a target we're going to meet with the students we're bringing in to the program. They're going to be bringing in a lot more than $12,000 per year. After that, we have insurance. So we have about $1,500 we're looking about per year for a premium for insurance. That's going to be a little over $100 a month. That's just a necessary cost of operating an aircraft in our flight school. Next, the operating costs we were talking about earlier for instructor qualification. Estimate about $5,000 for that. That is to get our instructors qualified on this aircraft so that they can teach it to their students and we can maintain the FAA standards that we have met and remain that 141 flight school that can get you that restricted ATP, which is very important nowadays. 1,000 hours to get your ATP, that's what we need to sell to the people with our advertising. Come to us, get the quality instruction that will get you the 1,000 hours ATP off of the airlines you go, and there's your career. So, add that all up, looking about $18,500 for the first year budget for this aircraft. Again, the profits will be coming in from the students into the program beyond this aircraft. It's going to be the private pilots, the instrument pilots, the commercial pilots that are coming here because of the aircraft and the instruction we offer. After that, a little bit cheaper, down to about $13,500 a year. So to conclude, we're talking about risk. We all know that buying an aircraft can be risky. You don't always know what you're going to buy. So we have a team that is going to make sure that we go out and we buy an aircraft that is going to meet our needs and is going to be a safe purchase. We do not want to have a lot of risk because Vermont Flight Academy is already on top. We're not trying to do something incredibly risky here. We're trying to do something that will have a high reward, low risk. Next, we're going to grow our fleet. Adding that high performance aircraft, that's going to be a draw. That's going to be something we can poster all over our website. In the schools, we're going to say that we have this training that we can offer. We expand our student base by bringing in those students that want this training and want the quality that we offer. We're going to expand that. So, and then we're going to find that plane that hopefully is going to be very fun to fly, that people enjoy to fly. It's going to be a little bit faster. People are going to enjoy going, maybe 200 knots instead of the, 120 they're used to. So we want to find that plane that people love to fly. But most importantly, we want to stay fiscally responsible. What we talked about earlier, we're not trying to do something that's going to cost the flight school thousands of dollars. What we want to do is find something that has that high reward ceiling with low risk. I'm looking for something that is a safe investment into our program to help us grow. We need to expand and grow, and we need to make sure we do it responsibly so that Vermont Flight Academy remains Vermont's premier flight school for years to come due to our quality, our training, our path to the airlines, all things that students are going to be looking for in coming to us here in Burlington. So thank you for your attention today. This is something that we're all very excited about and looking forward to receiving your questions.